Good morning. May 19th today. Need to say happy birthday to my wife Christine and also Audrey. Audrey's my granddaughter. They share a birthday. They are birthday twins. So happy birthday to you guys. But today we're going to be in 1 Chronicles 11 through 12 and then John 6. 1 Chronicles is talking about David. Again, not talking about his past and the failures and the things like that, but this one is particularly talking about when all the tribes acknowledged him as king. And to me that was an important part of the history of David, because they finally recognized that he was the one called by God to lead them. And to me that really flows over into into John chapter 6, just seeing Jesus as the king, the earthly king that came in to rule, and the neat part of this scripture is when Jesus is getting away with the disciples and they're wanting to just have some quiet time, get away from things, but the crowds follow Jesus and anyways, he ends up telling his disciples, he asks them, he says, how are we gonna feed all these people? And he already knew obviously how they were going to do it, but he asked them, who has any, how much food do we have here? And he says, well, there's a little boy with just a few fish and a couple loaves of bread. And he says, well, get it from him. And he blessed it, and he fed, it says 5,000 men, but along with that came kids and women. So they figure anywhere between 10 to 15,000 people were fed that day. And what's miraculous here, the big takeaway for me anyways, is how God uses the most insignificant person probably there was there. Children didn't have any kind of say or authority. Or really a whole lot of purpose back then. And here's Jesus, looking at this boy who can have a huge impact on thousands of people. So to me, that's what we need to take away today. At least me, that's what I need to take away is, even though I'm insignificant in the big scheme of life, right then and right now at a certain purpose and a certain reason, God might use me for something really big. So we got to be ready. We got to be engaged. We have to be seeking Jesus like this little boy was. There's a reason why he was there, and a purpose. Why Jesus used him. So we saw that, and then we see the story once again of disciples out on the water and fearful, because things were getting stormy out there. And here's Jesus. He walks across the water, on the water again. And we read that in Matthew, that, Peter stepped out of the boat and walked out towards him. This gospel does not mention Peter at all walking outside of it. Maybe it's because Peter and John, I think they kind of clashed once in a while and butted heads. So maybe John didn't want to give Peter any acknowledgement. I don't know. But here's Jesus. So he comes and he calms the water. And later on in the text it says Jesus is the bread of life, and we see that over and over and over again in Scripture, and it takes us back to the feeding of the 5,000. These people understood bread, they understood food, they understood that they needed that physical nourishment in order to survive, and that's how it is spiritually that we have with Jesus. It's we have this huge buffet in front of us as far as Jesus' word and his promises and his direction. And a lot of times we don't know where to go get the food. So we know where to get it. We know how to get it. We just have to go and get it. So I just pray you have a great day today. Have a blessed day. It's supposed to be hopefully a little nicer today. And remember, Wednesday, we're going to be doing fireside gathering here at the church. So come and join us at 7 o'clock. And have a great day again, and I will see you in the morning.